Today is a different one. Okay, so I think I said this already because I do these intros after I'm done with the whole thing. So what you're gonna see today is this right here. All right, that's I mean as basic animation as you can get. I am not Aaron Blaze. I love Aaron Blaze. I actually learned how to do that by watching some of his videos. And I'm using today Procreate to draw the sock puppet that you saw there. Looks very much like one of the Muppets I know. And I also used Procreate Dreams to do the animation. Really super basic animation, as you could tell. So the artwork is not great. It's a prototype. What it is, and I think I already said this, you'll hear it again on the interview, on the video that you're going to see. This is an assignment that I'm working on for a pastor and his wife, and they want to do a little children's thing with hand puppets. So I looked up hand puppets, and they all kind of had that same look. Kind of hard not to look like that when you have your hand in a sock. Oh, sock puppets. That's what they call them, sock puppets. Anyway, so this is a long video. I'll cut out some of it because some of it I was like so lost, and I had to kind of go back to Aaron Blaze's video to see how he did it. Maybe when I actually get to this is not the project, by the way. This is the prototype for the project. So I just wanted to show the pastor and his wife a possibility. So that's why the artwork is very rough, and the animation is even rougher. All right, let me show you. All right, let's get started with this one. Good morning, hope you're doing well. It's a digital art day because I have an assignment, and this is an assignment from the church. The pastor and his wife want to put on a puppet show for the kids, and they're going to use sock puppets, but they wanted some artwork that they could show up on the screen in the large screens that they have in the church. So let me enter my secret code here. You're supposed to see my face. All right, well, I don't want that one. I'm going to go to that one later. I'm going to go first to Procreate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a 21 by 27 inch canvas, even though the actual size of the iPad is not that big. Let's see, what is it? The actual size of this area to draw is 7.5 by 10. But when I say 21 by 27, what I mean is that if we're going to do this in 300 dpi dots per inch, and that means you could it would be a very high resolution, so they could project it on a large screen, you see, and it wouldn't be all pixelated. That's the idea. Now the intent of this particular picture is for it to be slightly animated. Okay, and we're going to use Procreate Dreams for that. So we're going to use Procreate first and then Procreate Dreams. I'm going to use my finger motions there. I've never done this particular idea before, sock puppets, so wish me well. Hopefully it comes out good. I do have my coffee, so I'll start with that. That's always the first step. And all right, so I don't know where to go except just to start. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to show you some of the things I just told you. So it's 300 dpi. So let me go to the canvas information and dimensions. So you can see it's 27 inches by 21 inches, 300 dpi. It's also 8100 pixels by 6300 pixels. So I don't ever worry about that. I just worry about the size in inches because that's what I'm more familiar with, and DPI. I don't think in terms of pixels. It's just maybe I'm too old to grasp that whole concept. But if I see 300, then I know it's going to be a high resolution. Okay, So that's what I do. All right, now let's get started. Now I'm going to draw this the way I would draw anything. But the reason it's important to know in advance that it's going to be animated is because the easiest way to animate it is to keep the layers separate. Don't merge the layers, which I always merge the layers. All right, so let's start with a sock puppet. We're gonna make a just a shape. I guess that would be the shape of a sock puppet right there. That's the best I can think of. I have no idea how else you would do that, right? Maybe it's a little high because I want to put the eyes up there, so I'm gonna grab the whole thing and move it down a lot. Yeah, a lot. I've actually make it fatter and move it down like that. I think that's what I want to do right there. All right, now they want this particular character to be unkempt, so I don't know how to do that exactly, but I'm just gonna try. So I'm gonna do like you know, the Muppets have the big old round eyes, so I'm kind of taking a lead from them, from the big round eyes guys, the big round eyes guys. Okay, make it a little bit more the right shape. And I'm not going to put eyeballs in it because those has to be a separate layer. All right, let me erase the stuff that's in the middle. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect right now. It's still in the very sketchy stage here. So there we go. There's two eyes. I think the way sock puppets work is they have a thing with they're starting to look like Cookie Monster, which I don't really want that to happen. So I'll have to make sure I change it. It looks like they have a little flap in the sock itself, right? That you put your fingers in, and I think that's how that works. Okay, so that's going to be our guy right there. So I think the animated part is going to be his eyes. So I don't need to worry about that. Probably, because right now it looks like Kermit, or it looks like, I don't know, one of the Muppet guys. I'll try to put a hat on him or something. So just a disheveled hat. Disheveled, like that word. So the hat would go on the back of his head since he doesn't really have a top of his head. And I'll make it kind of a raggedy hat. It's got maybe some marks in it. There's his hat. And a little bit of the top of his head so you can see what's going on up here. There's his hat. Whoops. That Procreate will do that. It'll think you wanted a straight line, and I didn't want a straight line. What else would I do? Well, you would have crazy hair, right? So let's give him some crazy hair coming out. Just crazy hair. It's probably going to be made out of wool because they're making their own puppets. So if it's wool, it'd be thick like this. Unless they have something else they're making hair with. I see. I'm kind of going without any direction, but I just need to sketch something in here, and then we'll see. We'll see well, I'll show it to them. See if they like it. Do you think he would be wearing a bow tie or something? I don't know. Maybe he'd be wearing a bow tie. Let me think about this a second. Let me look at a picture I have. I pulled up a picture of I don't know. Would be wearing a jacket? I don't know if I like that. I might undo that. Yeah, I don't like that. Let me undo all those lines. I think a bow tie would be good. Big old polka dotted bow tie. That's probably what I want here. All right. Alright, now let me erase the lines that don't need to be there. So this is the eraser up here for those of you who don't know Procreate. I'm just erasing these lines here. Now, if you're watching my channel because you want to see some fine art, you're not seeing it today. No, you're seeing the illustration. I might do a little bit of fine art kind of stuff for the background. In fact, that would be a nice idea, wouldn't it? Make sure we get that bow tie in front of him. Okay, I think we got that. All right. Now, I think the only thing I'm really going to animate is his eyes, and maybe himself, like going back or something. So let's take a new layer, and on this layer, I'm going to, let's see, that would be above it. So let me put this layer below it. That's for the coloring, okay? So let's go back here and get some coloring. And I'll use, I think I'll use gouache. So here's gouache. Gouache is always a good coloring for illustrating. And let's make him, I don't know. Well, his mouth should be red. Let's start with the mouth. So let me go into a color. Let's start with the mouth. That'd be a good place to start. So let me make sure I'm on the right layer there. Okay. Oop. Am I on gouache? Yeah. Oh, I need to make the brush bigger. That's what it is. All right. So we're gonna make this mouth. Make it red. That's all still preliminary. Yeah, this is a new project for me. Last year, beginning in February all the way through July, I illustrated a book for the same pastor and his wife called Grandma's Music Box. It was a Christmas book. And so I started the illustrations in February. And I think I got the last illustration done in July. So that was a fun assignment. Let me give him a tongue. You can't see that tongue. I gotta make it darker around the edges, I think. There we go. Make it darker toward the back of his mouth. And then I'll make the tongue lighter toward the front. Yeah, and you could use the Apple Pencil or the stylus. You can use it like a pencil. It responds to pressure. So if you push harder, it's a little darker, just like a pencil would be. And then here you sample that color, and we want to make it a little bit lighter and a little bit warmer, I think. It's not quite enough. That's okay, I'll fix that. I will fix that, baby. Make it a lot lighter right there. There, see how it's coming along? So there's the inside of his mouth. I think it needs to be even a lot lighter than that. Maybe some reflections. Yeah, a little bit like that. Now we got his tongue. His tongue is good. All right, let's go back to the red, and let's do something with his tie, his bow tie. So again, I'm going to use the red. Let me use a richer red here for the bow tie. I'll probably put like black dots on it instead of a black tie with red dots. I'll put a red tie with black dots. Okay. And all these little areas that I'm going off the lines, you know how when you do a coloring book you don't want to stay in the lines? Well, I'm not really following that rule very closely. But we just want to get this, idea. This is just the very first effort to create a sock puppet for the pastor and his wife. They might already have some ideas in mind. I don't know. They haven't told me. All they told me was they needed some artwork for the screen that looks like a sock puppet. They did not know that I could do a little bit of animation. I'm not a great animator. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, my gosh, don't think that. But I can use the Procreate Dreams program to do some really basic animation. I suppose if I worked at it longer, I'd be better at it. But, you know, I'm so much involved in the other art that it's kind of very time-consuming. Yeah, just a little couple of areas here to give it some depth. Yeah, we'll do the same thing we did with the tongue. We'll put some light spots on it and some dark spots. Just a way to create some depth. Let's make it a little bit lighter. I like it lighter and warmer. Bring it more to the orange. And put that in there. Just a little bit. It almost looks muddy. I'll fix that in a second. Right now, just trying to get the illusion of depth there. And of course, I have to put the white dots on it. I didn't do that yet. Oh, I guess actually, I want to do. You know what I want to do? I think I know what I want to do. I think what I want to do is black circles. Let me just do a lot of black circles. Big ones, little ones. So they're not all the same. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cute, right? Lots of dots. Lots of black circle dots. I was going to do circles, but I guess I went with the dots anyway. They look better. You can hear the birds outside. I'm not sitting outside right now, of course. I liked the other day when we went outside, when Robert and I went looking for some reference photos. That was kind of fun. And we were talking about taking the art and doing it outside, actually doing the art outside. All right, then we have that. All right, now I'm going to make the background a different shade so I can see white. Because right now I can't see white, so I'm going to make the whole background that little bit darker shade. There we go. So now we can see that better. The reason I did that is because I want to make his eyes white. And then I'll make them circular also, or what do you call them? Like walls, like globes, whatever. I'm gonna take these. Just keep working it. So right now, all of the coloring I'm doing is on one layer. And the intent is to animate his eyes, so the eyeballs themselves. I know it's going to look weird until I get to that part, but the eyeballs themselves will be on the other side. In fact, I might give him eyelashes. You know what? That's an idea. And the eyelashes should be on the other side also, on the other layer, because I might make him not just move his eyes, but maybe he can blink also. That sounds like a fun idea. All right, we got that there. Now let's make a cool, like a blue shadow his eye. So it's got that orb look, that globe look, instead of just a circle. Okay. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing on the camera. There we go. That's not too bad. Let me get that white back in there. A little bit less. There we go. Now, let's make that hat. I'm not sure what color to make him. Let's pick a primary color. Green, it's going to look like Kermit. Blue, it's going to look like Cookie Monster. Red, it's going to look like, what's his name, Elmo. Is there an orange one? I don't want to steal. I mean, I know it already looks like one of the Muppets, but a lot of these puppets look like Muppets. All right, I'm just doing the orange. I can't think of an orange character, but there's probably one. I just want to get all this in there. Once we get it all colored in, then it's going to be fun trying to animate it. I hope I don't get too frustrated with the animation process, because I really want this to work. I really think it'll be fun. I think it's going to be fun. All right, let me just make everything. Oh, I forgot you could see the sketch. Oh, that's right, the sketch is on top of it. I couldn't remember where I did it. Okay. Well, that's good, because I can still see the lines, even if I draw over them. Okay, well, that's good. Where is it in my world? It's, what is today? Wednesday. I'm actually retired from radio, so even though I sat in a couple weeks, last week and the week before, for the guy who does it now, does the morning show, I had to go in because he got hurt. So Robert and I did the show. It's kind of nice to be back in the saddle again with the radio, but to be honest, I like doing this better. I like doing this a lot better. You want to see a trick? What's this trick I can do? It's a bad place to do the trick. I should have done it up there. But you probably know this already. You can just fill it in if you want, just like this. Whoa! That's not what I meant. Never mind. Never mind. You can do it, but I just didn't have it set right, something. That was kind of fun. Yeah, I got a little bit of a cold. Hope you don't sit so close to the monitor, you might catch it. I'm just teasing. I'm not teasing that I have a cold. I'm teasing that you won't catch it. Or that you might catch it. All right. Let's go down here. Make it darker. Where there's a shadow under his chin. So we call I'll just do all the little things. I'll tell you all the little things that you probably know. But just for the sake of those people who don't know, the color that something is called the local color. And then the colors that you use to shade it in is shading. I guess that's what I would call it. So just give me a little shading here. And really, in paint, traditional paint, if you were going to create shading, sometimes you use the complementary color. I'm going to do that in a second, but this, because you can do it with digital. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. Right now, because I'm not so completely happy with this shading. However, it's not bad. It's just not as good as it could be. So let's see. So we have orange. So the opposite of orange, if you go to your color wheel, opposite orange is blue. So go to blue, and then go back to the traditional one. And let's see how that works as a shadow. Oh yeah, see how nice that works? That actually works better than the darkened orange. And that is something you can do with regular paint, water paint, or I'm sorry, watercolor, or any of them. Just use the opposite color, the complementary color. Complementary, not as, let's see, how do you define that word? It's C-O-M-P-L-E, not C-O-M-P-L-I. So there you go. There you go. That's my grammar lesson for today. My spelling lesson. All right, and I think this character is supposed to be dirty, like he's, you know, he works out in the fields or something. I don't know for sure. All right, now let's go ahead and make it lighter. Let's use the light blue. Let's see if that light blue works. No, probably not. Probably better to go back to the orange or the red. Just get a white. Let me get the orange back in there. That didn't work. Let's keep it like that. Whoops, I made a mistake. I went a little too over the line. Yeah. I have an app on my phone that'll tell me what a bird is by the call. I don't know how accurate it is because I don't know anything about birds, but it's kind of cool because I can be walking in the woods with Robin and we hear a bird and we'll say, "What is that bird?" And I open up the app. It's called Merlin, and Merlin will tell me what the bird is called. Okay, so the idea that he's looking dirty, right? And I think that's what they want, is him to look dirty. Let me just go ahead and add a little bit of light here. Maybe I'll do that over here too on the bow tie. Just a little bit of light, make it look reflective. All right, now let's get, that's too much, I think. Get some more orange back in there. Here we go. All right, now let's get that hat. The hat is just going to be brown. I'm just going to go ahead and just do the whole thing, and I'll do the hair last. Like I say, I think the hair is probably going to be made out of yarn or wool or something. Don't ask me the difference. I don't know the difference. You know what people use to knit with, whatever that's called. And by the way, if you were to use the Procreate to do a time-lapse version of the artwork, you wouldn't want to keep the pen or the stylus or the Apple Pencil. You wouldn't want to keep it on the screen like I'm just scrubbing it in now, because every time you do a stroke like that, you get another frame in the time lapse. So if you just hold it, it's one big old long frame. So the person watching the time lapse will see, boom, all of a sudden the whole area gets colored in. And people who don't know what you're doing or how it works will assume that you did it with a computer. Well, I mean, you did it with a computer, but they will assume the computer did it. All right. Sorry, I'm going to take the whole thing. I'm going to duplicate it. Only because it'll make it richer. There we go. Now it's richer. What I want to do is I want to take a little bit of light and get at the top of his hat. So it's not all one big piece. It looks like it's got some light hitting it from the different angles. And the bottom of the hat will be dark, maybe a little bit of light reflecting maybe off the ground or something, just to give it a little depth, a little more character, as I like to say, a little more interesting. All right, now let's make his hair really crazy. Let's go for the purple. Purple's always a crazy color. I'm gonna make this a separate layer, and I'll put them together just in case I mess up really bad. All right, there's a pretty. Look at that one. And I'll make another one over here, and then let's see. How about take a light purple, like that kind of purple. It's almost the same thing. There we go. And maybe I make all of his hair purple. That's not a bad idea. Make all of his hair purple. Let me go to this one. I like that purple. That was the favorite one right there. Oh yeah, I'm going to make them all that color. That's kind of cool. All these colors. Make that one the same color. There we go. There we go. Now that's all the separate layers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double that one, make it richer, then merge those two together, and then merge that together. So now all the color is on one layer, see? Okay. Now I think what I'll do is I'll darken some of those areas on the hair so they look a little bit three-dimensional. Just a little bit. Since this is kind of a, what do you call it? When you have a first draft of an invention. Can't remember what you call it, but let me get that light color right there. Put that on some of these ones that don't quite have it yet. So yeah, this is just to demonstrate to them what my idea was for them. He's got lots of curly hair, and I do want to do a background also. All right, so there's our guy. Let's see what happens if I take away the sketch. Oh, I think the sketch needs to stay there. What do you think? I don't really want the sketch to stay there. So I think what I'll do is I'll put another layer over him, and I'll get some dark. And so we'll almost put in the same lines as the sketch, but we'll make them look more like the painting here. Yeah, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be every single area. Yeah, I didn't really like the sketch being in there, but it needs to be in there. There we go. this is going to be fun. I can't wait to see how it looks when it's animated. Can't wait. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. And that's going to be a different program we're going to use. There we go. Now it's a little better. Let me make this more dark. There we go. You think? You like that? Does that work? I think so. Now it's not so sketched. I think it looks better than the sketch. We don't have to have the sketch lines in there. With the sketch, without the sketch. Okay, so now I can get rid of that sketch layer. And I can merge the lines I just replaced the sketches with. So now we have our guy. There's our guy. There's our guy. Now we got to put eyeballs on him. Now the eyeballs have to be a separate layer. Not only do they have to be a separate layer, but I think the eyelashes also. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use basic black, just black. Okay? And we're going to put his eyes right there. Right there in the middle. Right there. And I'll go ahead and let's see, do I want eyelashes? Let me try eyelashes. Let me try eyelid. I don't know if I want this or not, because I don't think you'll be able to see it. No, I don't think you'll be able to see that stuff. So get rid of those. This is how you erase with 2 fingers. Get rid of all that. Just keep it like that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a little reflective light in there. A little bit of white. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a reflective look to it. There we go. There's our guy. And that whole thing is on one layer, the 2 eyes. Let me go back to him, because I think I like this to be more orange down here. Yeah, there's our guy. All right, now I want to make a background. All right, so let's get another layer, put it behind him. But first I have to do a trick here. I'm going to show you a trick I do. I take this one and I duplicate it. And then what I do is I use alpha lock. And then I turn everything else off. Okay? And I just grab the background color and I'm going to paint the whole thing. I'm just basically going to cover it up with the same background, the same color as the background. And you'll see why in a second. So it looks like I'm ruining it, but I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to cover the spaces that I didn't get, because I probably didn't get every single space. Although we'll find out when we get there. Okay. So now we've got everything covered, looks like. And now what I'm going to do is turn off the background. Now you see there's all those spaces. So let me turn off the alpha lock. And now I'm going to do the same thing and color in those spaces, because that's where the background would bleed through. And unless he's a ghost, you can't see through him. He's not a ghost, so you can't see through him. Okay, Just getting all these areas colored in. And then, this is almost like masking, back in the old days when you would take paper and you would put it behind paper, just to keep it from being translucent. Now what we do is we turn this one on and move it on top of it. And there it is. Now it's on top of it. And then you put the eyes on. There's the eyes. And then we're going to put the background back in there. And I mean, yeah, the background color. And now we're going to do a background scene, like I don't know, just a simple scene. So let me turn him off. Well, first of all, I have to merge these two. And then we turn him and his eyes off and go to the background. And let's make something real simple, because it's pretty much covered by him anyway, the whole thing. So let's just go ahead and make a sky. It's a beautiful blue sky. Okay? And we'll take maybe some gray, maybe some mountains in the distance. You won't see most of this anyway, because most of it's covered up by him. Here we go. Maybe there's some hills in the background. Okay. And then there might be some trees back there. Let me make them smaller. So here we go. A little bit of trees and okay. Yeah, that's okay. That works. Some foreground trees. Very sketchy, very sketchy. All right, now go ahead and put some grass here, some green grass. Make it very big. Just color it in. Make the foreground a little bit darker, maybe. And put some clouds in the sky. You might have noticed I used green. I shouldn't have done it. I should have used blue, but that's okay. Just gonna keep it a little hazy down toward the mountains. Let's grab this color again, a little bit darker, and put some shadows over here by the trees, and make some dark areas down here. There we go. I don't know. Maybe he's maybe we need some grass in the foreground here. A little bit of grasses. Remember, it's all a cartoon, so we want it to be very cartoony. Some light green in there. Whoops, that's a little bit too light, isn't it? There we go. And just to make it a little bit more interesting, put a little bit of undefined shadows. You don't know where they're coming from. Could be the clouds, could be just the way the terrain is. Like I say, most of this is going to be covered by our character anyway. All right, now let's put him on top of it. There we go. So now he's outside somewhere. You see? All right, now what we have to do is we have to move it over to the other program. The other program is called, what did I call it? Not me, I didn't call it anything. Procreate Dreams. So let's go to the gallery and get out of here and open up Procreate Dreams. And we'll pick a, let's see, we want a normal screen. There we go, normal screen. And we're going to make it, we can make it 4K, that's okay. And then we're going to make it, let's see, we don't want it 30 seconds long. How about 12 seconds? Okay, 12 seconds long. And the frames, we're going to make it 12 frames so that we don't have to do a whole lot of animation. And I think that's all I need to do. And then we draw. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to bring that other guy in here. So I open up this. I pull Procreate up here and put it to the side. And we're going to bring this in. Let me see, I think I have to tell it what to do. Did I tell it what to do? I'm not sure. I think I'm forgetting this part. Okay, it's importing it. Let me see. Okay. Now it should have it all in there. And I need to make it different, different layers. Oh, I hope I know what I'm doing here. Make a bigger area here. So all I really want to do is draw just like you do in Procreate. I'm going to use the same paint. It's the gouache. There it is, gouache. And I'm going to use black. Okay. And I'm going to make a bug flying past them. I guess those are the wings. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Okay. Make him larger so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is going to be like a bee flying past him or something, I don't know. Something with a big stinger on it. Here we go. Big ol', he's got a big beak and a big stinger on his butt. Maybe he's got some feet hanging down too. Yeah, he's got a lot of legs. Bugs have a lot of legs. So I'm not going to worry about too much animation with this guy, but I am going to do some. Let me give him an eyeball. Big ol' eyeball. Let's make it a mean eyeball. He's mean, he's looking down. Or he's sleepy or something. There. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along. There we go. Little mean guy. Alright, now this is like a flip book here. So let's go to the next frame. And I think I just have to draw the whole thing over again, I think, wait a minute, is there a way to, let me go to the first frame. Can I copy it? Copy it, yeah. Then go to the second frame. Can I paste it there? Everything you copy. Got that. Duplicate it. Oh, there. Now both frames are the same. That way, all I have to do is worry about the wings. Okay, let's try this. I don't know. I'm learning same time as you. We're learning together. Okay, and I see what it does. It leaves the onion skin thing, so you can see the old one. Oh, that's helpful. All right. Now we want to make this wing a little bit different here. Whoops, too big. A little bit bigger. Nope. That was the eraser, sorry. Learning together. Okay. Now let's duplicate that and make this one over here. Oops, first I gotta erase what was there. And add another one there. I have no idea if this is gonna look like. Oh, there we go. There, see, it's flying. Whoops. How do you play this? There, you see it? Looks like it's flying, right? Alright, let me duplicate this one. And then erase those wings. And do it one more time over here. And then one more time, duplicate it, erase it. We're learning together, we're learning together. And then put this one down here. I have no idea what this is going to look like. Well, I sort of have a little idea. But I think it's going to be silly, which is what we want, right? We want silly. Okay. So now, if you go, oh, there's a place that needs to be erased on here. Alright, so there we go. That's what we want right there.